What's up? It's your girl Kim Ta. So today we are talking about Consciousness Combat 101. But before I teach you guys any type of psychic abilities or psychic combat, psychic shielding, or any type of additional meditations, I want my community to lead with honor. I want us to lead with integrity. So as we know, our model is for the greater good of all. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to be the greater good of all? Not just for humanity, because I'm teaching you about multiple ways to actually dive into your brain, okay? What do you think about the greater good of all? It means that when you're weighing out less of the two evils, you're going to choose the one that's greater for all of humanity. The greater good of all. And why is this so important that we lead with the greater good of all? We lead with the greater good of all because you have to realize that everything is energy. Everything you put out there, it comes right back to you. All the intent and the way that you think is truly what inflicts on your actions and behavior. So if we live in this life once and we want to continuously become elite and be elite, you have to think of yourself as somebody that's who can evolve within life. Makes sense? You have to have an idealistic of understanding that the world is created as a whole. Everything operates as a whole. Energy, everything around us, how we act, because all of this gets passed down with our DNA helix. And that's why teaching evolution is very important for me right now. It's not just psychological warfare. It's not just psychological warfare. No. It's actually about evolution and you being the first one in your family to start it. So before I continue and carry you on of guided meditations and helping you understand truly yourself within, and even if so, psychological warfare, combat towards that, we want to be able to say our affirmations. What are affirmations? Affirmations are basically things that you say to subconsciously reprogram your mind. What do you mean? Yes. So neuroplasty. Neuroplasty happens when a electrical impulse from your brain is caused by you saying or thinking a certain thing. So subliminally, you are reprogramming yourself with the things you say and see. And that's why I always tell you, do not diminish your value. Do not talk down on yourself in any way. What you need to do is to be able to have affirmations every morning in the mirror. And we're going to start like this because if you increase your neuroplasty, you increase saying these things over and over and over, what will happen is you will eventually believe that you are it because you made enough indents in your brain to already zap it there instead of not having it at all. So subconsciously means that you're putting that little indent there from that electric signal, but you keep doing it. You will what? Become it. So let's start with our first one. I take accountability. Why is it important to take accountability? Because your business is your reputation and your reputation is your business. And in order to be credible, you have to be able to own up to your mistakes because people understand that you cannot be perfect all the time. But to be someone who's so-called perfect, quote unquote, and you have to lie and cover things up 24/7. And like I said, everybody has their own secrets. But I take accountability. Do you want to work with somebody who does not take accountability? Why would you be someone that does not take accountability then? You have to be able to build your own business to be credible as a future elite. Now, I lead with integrity. Integrity. What does this mean to you? Well, you lead with integrity, meaning that you don't throw people under the bus for no reason. You do not snitch somebody out in this area because we believe in brotherhood and partnership. Leading with integrity is not snitching people out for the wrong reasons and hurting them for the wrong reasons. If something is for the greater good of all, I would recommend that this is a moral value type of question for yourself. What are the things that are your deal breakers with people? You understand what integrity is within yourself, then you're understanding that you are who you attract. For me, I've shown my integrity by protecting my own community. I warned my community because immigrants, they have children who need to go to college. So I lead with integrity. And in order to lead, you need to have all these characteristic traits to be a leader. Now, I bleed brotherhood, partnership. This is hard. You don't have to be family because of blood, okay? Sometimes your most trusty is the people outside of your family. If you know your family is toxic as fuck, get the fuck away from them. Sometimes you got to be a black sheep and pave your own way so you can start your own thing. And it only takes one to be the generational breaker. I bleed brotherhood, partnership. I bleed brotherhood and partnership. I bleed it. That means that this runs vein deep. That means loyalty, heart. Loyalty is at heart, but faith is all and above. All right. I am loyal and honest. Okay. I'm iffy about this one, but not this one right here. This one and this one tie in together. Loyal and brotherhood. A white lie, if I were to lie to my brother to protect him, then that's honesty at its question. But if honesty is in regard to the greater good of all, so they don't ever hurt themselves with information, then that's also something you have to weigh out as well. Lesser of the two evils, meaning that there's two bad apples handed to you, but which one will hurt the people less? Okay, now I am studious. What's it mean? You have to study. Due diligence. I say don't trust the word I say. Don't trust half of what you see. Be a studious. Yes, yes, yes. Be a studious. And now, last one. I am an elite. With all these key character traits, why is it important to have this ingrained into us? Because not everybody's going to have your heart. And with the law of attraction, you're going to attract who you are. So if these traits are the type of people that you want to be in your community, definitely stick around. Because what I want to do is build elites. Elites. Why are we going to have a rebirth? We're going to have an evolution. Yes, because we're going to have abilities. We're going to have abilities. Hold on. Elites. Rebirth, evolution. This means psychic clairvoyance. Aligned. Moral values. Accountable. Driven. Back to elites. What I want to establish is a rebirth and evolution with psychic clairvoyant, aligned, moral valued, highly accountable, and driven. Future elites for the greater good of all to lead. How else would you really learn how to lead if you didn't believe in evolution? Why is this important now? Character cannot be bought. Character cannot be bought. You can come from anywhere and make a lot of money. But why would you want to work with someone you don't trust? Why would you want to work with someone who has a horrible reputation and be affiliated with it? Affiliation. Affiliation. Reputation. All of it. Character cannot be bought with money. No. Because you already understand what you have to keep is at your heart, right? For the greater good of all. Greater good of all. In order to have elites that have these clairvoyant and psychic abilities, you have to, one, become aligned. Two, you have to be able to carry these characteristics within you. You have to learn about your traumas, your deep inner traumas, and you have to heal. Become psychics altogether, especially when you're opening your third eye. It comes with alignment, a lot of, I would say, knowledge that comes with all of this. So to be able to do that, you're also going to have to be resilient. And this is why, because we had to evolve due to AI. AI can take over the brain and can maybe try to replicate the conscience. I can't tell you that. But one thing that we have that AI does not, conscience. Consciousness. A greater good of all. Yes. Now, every time that you're thinking about doing anything, ask yourself, what is it for the greater good of all? Who are my community and the people I want to be around? What do I want to learn? Where do I want to be? How, and why? And always continue to ask questions, but you got to also know the medium tone when it's too much. So only speak when you are an expert. If you are not an expert, learn to active listen. If anything, you should be taking accountability for yourself as well. Journal and meditate daily. Find yourself within and write it down so you could look back and reflect. Each and every day, you should be having a 1% goal, doing a bit better than the other week over there. It is all about consistency. Evolution is something that is about consistency. Evolution builds, but humans evolve with consistency. Why do I say that? Because we have DNA always creating. That's why. Evolution builds, but evolves with consistency. DNA always creating. You're always creating. Now, you understand that DNA is always creating and evolution is always occurring, right? It's you. You are the history. Now you understand that. You have a whole community. Your community is your network. Your network is your net worth. High moral individuals plus abilities. I don't expect you to be combat trained. This is me. We're combat trained. Guns, yes. Psychic abilities, yes. Eagerness to learn. Pyrokinetic. This is going to be you. Gymnast or flexibility. Ariana Grande tones. What else? I don't know. Kind of do everything. And, well, we have eager to learn. Those are degrees. But you don't need degrees for this. I don't want you to think you need degrees. But what I want everybody to do is be, what? Combat trained, mentally and physically. Even if so, you should be able to push yourself a little bit beyond what you're used to. But every day, you should always be challenging yourself. Always challenge yourself. Elites like to learn. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Elites love to learn. But learning about the unknown. The gateway. The gateway process. Finding you. Rebirth, reawaken. Then you have your psychic abilities. Your healed trauma. Resiliency. How does this all matter? Well, nobody knows too much about the gateway process. The gateway process is considered something that's unknown phenomenon. We could travel to the past. We could travel to the future. We are psychics. We have telepathy. We have telekinesis. All of it, actually. We're like the super, really advanced humans. I am. The gateway process. These are advanced humans. Now, what I want you to do is get to all this so you can become this. Even if it's a little bit, little by little, you are still making history one way or the other. And nothing is best than having people with high moral values, integrity, and you can feel when people are lying. You can feel things, you see things, you know things, and that's the type of people that I want in my community. So, if you are excited or if you're interested in taking the dive in, go ahead and stay tuned. I am so grateful to show you guys our code of ethics, our creed, and exactly what our motto is. It is for the greater good of all. And I want you to think about that on everything that you do every day. Anyways, thank you so much for joining my OFTV channel, and I'll see you soon. Guys, I wanted to add in that, yes, I did miss a really important one that most people add in their code. It's civility. I did not put civility down. I don't need you to be nice to everyone. I need you to be kind. If you're nice to everyone, then you're being fake to everyone. Be kind. Do things with positive intent. Basically, I have a class full of assholes who are eager to learn about the unknown to advance themselves for evolution to heighten their DNA with good moral values who are combat trained consciously, mentally, physically, resilient, they have integrity, courageous, they bleed brotherhood, partnership, they're studious, eager, proactive, most of all, high morale, and accountable. So, that's what it is. And if you are interested, just keep going and dive in, because I promise we're going on another roller coaster.